team, welcome to Small Creator Big World. I'm Bav.
And I'm Becky, and this podcast is a space for us to chat about all things being small creators on the internet.
Yes, and last week, or 2 weeks ago rather, we had this conversation back and forth about like how we should format the episodes and the podcast and what we should do. And what was really nice is we came to a conclusion on the podcast, and actually it was kind of cool that we recorded it as a podcast episode. So if you want to go and check that out after this one, it'll be linked here somewhere. But like what was also really cool is that we just decided that we're just going to like not over optimize this and just talk about what's been coming up in our lives as it relates to like the world of creators, etc. So
yeah, that's so true. I think we fell into a really, really classic trap of trying to over-engineer something that didn't need to even be engineered in the first place, because we're in the phase of what Ali likes to say, get started /
Yes.
get going. And we were trying to get good, but we're not there yet.
We are not good, so we're still get going. Oh,
Yeah.
we're kind of drifting into get good, but we're not maybe get smart. Anyway, we digress.
Oh, yes. We were trying to get smart before we got good. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
There
We'd already
we are.
got going. We'd hit our like 10 episodes, but
Woo!
we were exactly. But we were skipping get good, and we're just going into get good. So off the back of that, now that we've rambled, what's been going on in the last couple of weeks?
We have been doing something really exciting, actually, and it's nothing big. I just made it sound like as if we're going to launch something, but we've just been doing a small little experiment. We've been doing this thing,
a tiny experiment, if you will.
A tiny experiment. Hi, Anne-Laure. As if she listens to this.
She does not listen to this.
But she's great, and we love the philosophy of tiny experiments. So that's exactly what we did. We started a thing called office hours, specifically creator office hours. And the real TLDR is it's basically an hour that we host on Zoom for people to come and just come in with any sort of creator related question. How long have we been doing it?
We've
I was trying to make conversation there. We've been doing it.
I have no idea.
Okay,
we did it when you told us to do it. Okay,
we've done three
So we started
far.
before Christmas. That's what I remember.
Yes. We started somewhere, I think, in like week 2 of Christmas. Okay, so I guess we're just gonna launch straight into the backstory. Cool?
Wait. Yeah. All right. Okay. Take over. No. Yes, we absolutely should. So to backtrack, obviously, office hours is not a new concept. It was just us introducing it. Was kind of new, as in a new something for us to try. And I guess yes. Let's venture into it. But a little bit of context is, well, not a huge amount of context. You can give some context, but. I guess we were talking about the community stuff, and we've talked about that loads on the podcast, and it will happen at some point because it's still something we want to do. But when I was yapping about like the community and like you know how we eventually want to get there and what we could do and when we could launch it and like you know whenever and we need enough people and blah blah blah, you were just like office hours. is the answer, and just to think. So yeah, maybe you're better positioned to give some context.
Yeah, I think, okay, so what, outside of Small Creator Big World, I think both you and I have started to get some questions from our creator friends and like people that we met online being like, hey, how did you guys started creating? Or like, do I need a second YouTube channel or should I start a newsletter? And these are questions from like friends, from people we just met on the internet. That sounded really weird. It's not weird in 2026, I swear. But just like people that we connected to on, say, like Substack and YouTube and LinkedIn and such. But we realized that, hey, we have some questions, and we also happen to have this podcast thing called Small Creator Big World, and that we want to make into a community. And the whole purpose is to help said small creators. So why don't we just, instead of doing like a Q&A episode, because that's one route we could have gone. We could have literally just asked everybody to submit a question and then we do a Q&A episode. But I think we were like, you know what? Let's just talk to these people directly. Let's pick a time that works for both of us. Let's just set up something called office hours. We thought creator office hours was a pretty self-explanatory, like
Explanatory.
What?
I mean, yeah. Okay, don't ask me how the Americans pronounce it because who knows?
It sounds like a planetarium. Okay.
Oh yeah. Explanatory. No, now I'm saying it wrong. Explanatory. No, now I can't say it.
Okay, well, the title's pretty obvious. Creator office hours. You will understand exactly what it is.
Self-explanatory.
Self-explanatory. It does sound like planet. Self-explanatory. And yeah, so we posted it. Well, we created an event on Luma, and we actually started really small. We knew we were going to roughly do this every like 2 weeks if it works out, but we made the decision to only do one at a time and to only start with one. I think what was going through our minds as well is that you've sort of helped out with a lot of YouTubers kickstart their YouTube channel. I've helped a lot of writers start a newsletter. Both of us have direct experience helping students go from like 0 to publishing that first like 5, 10, 15 things, and even help like shape those things along the way. So between the two of us, I feel like we had a good handle in being able to answer questions. What was going through your mind when I said, let's do that?
Yeah. Oh, sorry to just add. I think the other thing that puts us in good stead is that we're both. Yeah, I guess. Well, you decide if it's good or not. But we're both part of the Ali Abdaal YouTube school, right? So that kind of gives us that. So I've been consuming his content for a lot of years, as have you, and we have both. Well, you're still working there. I worked for him for almost 4 years, and through that, we consumed a lot of YouTube stuff, and worked in that world. And you are, to remind people or to tell people that are new here, you are Ali's current YouTube producer. So
that is correct.
Between us, we know kind of semi what we're talking about, even if we don't fully know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry to answer your question of what was going through my head. I was just like, oh, actually, that. I was like, oh, that's so easy. That's so simple. You've just made something that was not necessarily complicated, but was just a longer term plan. And you've just gone, hey, we're hosting an office hours next week, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And you just like, what was also cool is you literally also set it up. I'm very bad at like starting things. I'm very good at maintaining them or like leveling them up or like taking them from like 1 to 10. I'm very bad at going from 0 to 1. And you are very, very good. Actually, I'm having this realization out louder. You are very good at going from 0 to 1. And I think that's actually why we work well together, because you will go, oh, idea. Because we'll both have ideas and I'll have ideas all the time, but I don't actually execute on 99% of them. As obviously, that's fine. You don't need to execute on everything. But I'm very bad. I'm like at the very bad end of execution. You, on the other hand, are very on the complete flip side. You are very good at execution, but then you might get bored, or you might be like, "Oh, I've done it now," or like, "Oh, cool." Whereas, I think maybe that's why we work well together, because you will kick something off, and I can maintain something once it's up and running, and I can then take it and scale it if necessary, or just like build on it. Is that correct? Do you agree?
No, I think that's totally correct. I don't think, and I just start things.
Yeah.
And then after a while, I'm like, man, this is hard. I don't stop everything that I do, but I think what I do is everything.
For the record, I wasn't saying that. I wasn't suggesting that you stop everything just before you come out.
Yeah. No, you weren't. But it is like, if I start something, I do want to keep at it, but I don't know how to keep at it in a way that feels sustainable. Everything for me feels like it's hard all the time. Whereas like you can come in and you just set up a system for stuff and it just runs, and it's like literally this podcast, all I have to do is show up. And you're the one who's like, hey, we need to think of a topic. Hey, we need to like at least like have some prep time. And you're the one who like takes it from like recording to like publish. I do nothing.
That's not entirely true. Okay. And I think this is where we just work. Like, I play to my strong suits, you play to yours, and it actually happens that we're opposites, and therefore it works, and we like cover everything. But you were the one that got us up and running in the first place. Like, it was your suggestion and idea, and you were the one that's like, oh, let's just get them in and like get started and like hey, let's just do this once a month so it's sustainable, because otherwise I'd have been
Yeah.
like, let's do weekly podcasts.
Oh
And
yeah, you
are
wanted
the
to
one-
weekly, and I was like, hell no.
Yeah.
So-
All right, rude. Can you just tone that down a teeny tiny bit and
oh, sorry.
make
Heck
it
no.
not sound? Yeah, I'll take it. Fair. But you have always been the person that's like, let's start small, and let's
Yeah.
like, because I'm the one that's like, oh, a million miles an hour. We could do it, blah, blah, blah. And then you're like,
yeah.
Bobby, no, let's bring it back. And that's really helpful. But also, do not underestimate your part in actually getting the episode out, because every time I hit a stumbling block, I send stuff to you. And I can't write. Writing's always a stumbling block. But the fact that you do, I'm like, oh, I can't. Like, I need to get this. But like, I can. The things that are blockers for me, you unblock. So I'll get stuck at like, oh, I don't know what title to pick, and you're also very decisive. So I'll be like, oh, here are some titles, and obviously I know it's your day job, so that's also beneficial. But you, even if it wasn't, I know you're the kind of person that would just be like, that one. And I'd be like, oh, okay. And I might have some, oh, but this was it. And you'll be like, but you won't just be like, whatever you want. As in, you won't say that. You will just actively be like, oh, here's my opinion. But I'm like, so, that's, yeah, okay. That makes a lot of sense. You get things from 0 to 1. I'll take them from 1 to wherever. But you are there along the
Amazing.
way.
Amazing. So if anybody wants to start something, go to me. If anybody wants to continue doing something, go to Bobby. She's your girl.
Yeah. I think that's basically it. Although I do find it easier to kickstart other people.
So you can do both, is what you're saying.
No, yeah, but so can you. You also could help other people maintain. You are also very good at that. I think we can
Thank you.
both do both for other people. But just when it comes to our own stuff, that's our strong suits.
That's so fair. And that's how office hours get started. I
Yeah,
guess,
that's where we
'cause
started.
I
We
kicked it off.
digressed.
We were discussing it, and then I was like, you know what? I'll just make a Luma page. Like, oh, I can make a custom like event page. So it's like lu.ma/small creator. And I was like,
Hashtag plug.
hashtag plug. And I was just like, let's just list all our future events there. Put it out one by one, as and when we feel like it. So so we don't feel like we're stuck to doing this thing like fortnightly for like 6 months when we don't even know what our schedules are gonna look like. So we decided that we're just gonna do it one by one. We picked a time that worked for us. I think that's really, really important. If you want to host something, like don't go around asking people, hey, what's the best time that works for you? Because I've made this mistake many, many times. And then you end up having to do like this awkward time that you're hosting, but you can't really make it because it's kind of awkward for you. And then you kind of feel guilty because that's when most people can make it. And then you do the thing and then that person doesn't even show up. So always pick a time that's convenient for you if you're hosting, and then see if people show up. And if it doesn't work, then you just pick another time next time. And that's why you always start with 1. Because if we had like 0 people show up to our first office hours, then I would have been like, hey, Bobby, let's pick another time. Because it seems like this is a horrible, horrible time. But we didn't. We picked a time and people showed up. I think we had like 2 people come to the first one, maybe 3. Was it 3? 2, 3. And then we had like
Yeah. Sorry,
and
I
then we
should
had
remember.
6. And then the last one we had like 14. So we just like grew it slowly. But sorry, I digress. What was going through your mind when you were like office hours? What I think I asked you the question. It didn't get answered and I just remembered it.
I'm now not even sure what we're talking about. No. Okay, yeah. Fundamentally, it was like, okay, this is fantastic, and like, sorry, that's why I made that original point. My original point that I didn't actually close out was that it was so cool to just see something executed so easily, and like, it was just done. So that was great. And then I was like, oh, office hours, that's such a good idea. Like, A, we build a mini community by doing it. And B, we test out like what it is. Like, are people going to turn up? Is this the right format? What do they need help in? Like, how can we help them? Is there demand? And yeah, also just, the beginnings of a community, because if we can help these people now, then we can bring them all together. And it's just about creating that feeling. Like, you don't need to have a circle community or like a paid thing for it to be a community. Like, you don't have to have these specified places. Like, we have offices out. Wow. We have office hours now. And it's just like, that will, like, if a handful of those people start showing up every 2 weeks when we do it, there will automatically be a community in there. So yeah, I guess why my thoughts were, oh, cool. that's something we can just start now. Love it. And yeah, that was basically it.
Yeah. Plus, we were going back and forth about like, who's like our target? Who are we speaking to on this podcast? Blah blah blah. What sort of advice are we giving? And I think I just thought like, you know what? Let's just ask people directly in a Zoom chat.
Yeah.
In an
Yeah.
actual conversation and see their actual reaction and see if we actually help them or not. So it's just like I think similar to how like maybe people who are like starting businesses and stuff, they would like set up, consultation calls for free and stuff. And I was like, this is kind of like a group consultation. It's like if we're going all businessy on it, this is basically a group discovery call where we get to figure out exactly what our target customer's problem is, see where we can step in, if at all, and then basically just try to help them solve their problem and then figure out what's their next problem, and just keep going through the loop. And it's only from there that we can actually figure out if we can do this, if we can productize it or something. I know that's going a little bit far down the line, but it's basically, I think it's just so underrated to just go out and immediately start talking to your audience, whoever that is. Because I don't even think like people who jump on our thing, not all of them listen to our podcast.
No.
But it's like one way to grow a podcast as well is like we host this thing that's actually helpful and be like, hey guys, by the way, we do this.
Yeah. We're also making it sound like we've done a whole lot and like it's super like successful and all that. Guys, we have only done 3.
Yeah.
So just bear that in mind and we'll keep you updated. But so far so good, I think is our general kind of consensus on it. But
Yeah.
now that we've done 3 episodes and we're obviously veterans in the space,
Oh, yeah.
what are your kind
Experts.
of biggest the go-tos on how to start a community? No. What are your kind of looking back after a full 3 sessions?
Yeah.
Do you have any
6
like
weeks.
learnings or like reflections or like things to take away, things that stand out or anything?
Yeah, this could be maybe something to think about if you already have like an existing audience. So I think we came at it in a really interesting way where both of us, like this Small Creator Big World platform that we are on currently is super, super tiny. But individually, you and I are pretty well done connected in the creator community. So that was a reason why I didn't want to go big on the first office hours. I think we plugged the first office hours in WhatsApp groups. Like that's how small we kept it. Plugged it once in Paul Millard's WhatsApp group and plugged it once in this in a Rite of Passage alum WhatsApp group that I'm a part of. Because I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna have people that kind of semi-know me, but are also in like the inner circle. So the Rite of Passage people know me already because I used to, like in that WhatsApp group specifically, I used to host a gym every single week. So like I would think everybody there knows me because I spam the chat every single week for like 2 years. So I hope they
A
know me.
writing gym.
A writing gym, yes. A writing gym, which is basically a jam session to like help people like take their idea to outline or outline to draft or draft to like finished version or to second draft, basically to help people start their Substack post and like move it to the next step.
Which
And
we're
then
thinking of
some-
bringing back, by the way. It might not be a Substack writing gym, but it will be some kind of. Oh no! Don't tell me this is news to you. So
Who's hosting that?
Yes.
Is that you?
You.
Is that me? Oh,
Mhm. No,
I
we
see.
can we can host. We can either co-host, or we can host one each because then we can cover different time zones.
Fun.
But I think it would be cool to host some kind of like, I guess fundamentally it's a co-working session, but like
Yeah.
it could be like very specific because
Yeah.
I guess the benefit of a writing gym. Sorry, well, I digress slightly, but the benefit of a writing gym is everyone's there to do the same thing. So
Yeah.
when you like have like little breakouts or whatever, you are
Mm.
talking about the same thing. So if we just had a generic one, it might just be a bit like blah. So we could find what the most and it could be writing because like writing in terms of like YouTube scripting because it doesn't matter what you are. Sorry, not necessarily even YouTube scripting. Almost any medium you're on, maybe it's planning / writing because it doesn't matter what medium you're on. You want to plan your content.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, this is easy. We can just make workout rooms. And the people who do writing, do writing. People who do YouTube, do YouTube.
look at me
things.
overcomplicating things. Anyway, sorry. Back to your point. That's where were you?
So in launching the office hours, we kind of did it in like small steps. So the first week, we only did it in WhatsApp groups. that we were part of. And then the second week, we wanted to bring it to more people because we are like, okay, there was demand in this small group. Maybe some other people would be interested. So we put it up on our Substack notes. And then that way, basically, anybody who follows us on Substack and happens to see us in their feed can see it. And then turns out that there was interest. But then I felt like, oh, this was really interesting from people who were kind of semi-veterans, because people who were already on Substack, they are already semi-creating. They're like semi-active. Like Substack is a pretty niche platform. So I wanted to go somewhere wider. And then I went to the platform where I had the most following, which is LinkedIn. And I knew that I was going to hit like a bunch of random people on there, which I actually did. It was people who like have never seen any of my YouTube videos and probably have never read any of my Substack articles. But a couple of them showed up. I don't know, but there were some new people there too that I never heard of that I think you were also not affiliated with. So that was like a really interesting case, because I think the first two, like every attendee knew either you or me.
Yeah.
And in the third one, we started having like completely brand new people. And that was interesting because it's not like the questions that people came in with were like drastically different.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree. I think
Yeah.
people are thinking.
Yeah. But anyway, I just, yeah, like my reflections were that launching something, I think just taking it tiny and making it like really, really small and just doing it one at a time is like super important. And I think that also goes to show with like, say if you're starting a YouTube channel, like instead of like planning out 10 videos, just start one and then see if you like it. And then start number 2 and see if you like it and see what you can change. I think there's like planning out like 10 videos in advance, which I know is like the old sort of like advice and like, oh, if you want to start a blog, like you should like see if you can write like 50 topics about it. Like that's too big, I think. Whereas actually opposite for you, I think you would rather know the whole thing and then start the thing.
That's interesting. I think. Yes. Okay. No, actual. What's the word? Anecdotal. Is that the right word? Anyway, this actually happened. So yeah, you're right. Like, and I don't know if it's old advice or just like still advice, but like there is. I remember when I was doing the part-time YouTuber Academy for the first time, and they were like, "Yeah, you can create like a bunch of ideas." And I remember like making a list of ideas, but it was almost, and I think the advice was almost like if you, yeah, exactly that. If you can't think of 50 ideas, then maybe it's not a viable like niche or something. And I don't disagree with that per se, but actually, and I think I'm realizing this more and more, even though I've probably always known it to be true, is I kind of like not having it all figured out. Obviously I like a system,
Yeah.
but for me to go from 0 to 1 when I have to do it for myself, I kind of can't get stuck in the overthinking and the overplanning.
Yeah.
I actually very much need to just do, and this goes across the board. Like even like, so I've started attempting to stretch more. But if I had planned out, like if I'd gone to YouTube and like figured out all the stretching routines and gone, oh, this is my plan, and figured out a whole thing and gone, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, like I would have still been like looking for videos. But actually all I did was like, I got an app that was like relatively good. Like I think it was, I can't remember what I saw. Anyway, I just like downloaded an app and I'll just dip into this every so often. And I've probably been more consistent with it. I'm not doing it every day by any means, but I've been more consistent with it. And now that I've done it for a couple of weeks, I'm like, oh, maybe I can move on to, a next stage. And I still need to be careful because that moving on to a next stage is also a big thing. But like, I'm understanding where the weaknesses are or the like whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas I would have been guessing before and I wouldn't have been making progress. So, sorry, that was a long way of saying, actually, stop having everything planned and figured out and just do, and you will figure it out along the way.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like driving a car. It's like unless you like
no,
you can watch.
When you're driving a car, please only drive a car when you had a license and you've had all of your
No. When you're
lessons.
when you're like learning to drive a car, know that car where like the person in the passenger seat has an emergency brake, safety first. But it's like you can watch like 100 YouTube videos on how to drive a car. But unless you're in the back seat, like actively pressing gas and brake and putting your foot on the pedal, shouldn't. New cars don't need 2 foot on the pedal. That's an old car thing.
No, I drive with both feet on the pedals.
But you don't need, like, when I learned driving, my left foot had to be there to, like, switch gears. But now you don't. You just need the right foot to go from gas and brake.
Okay, no, that's the difference between an automatic and a manual. But manual cars are still being massively made. I still have a manual.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah,
You drive on manual?
Yeah, it's actual driving. It's fun.
Wow.
Yeah. I think that it hasn't fully switched over. Yes, there's probably a lot more automatics, and I know nothing about the car industry, so please don't come at
Got
me.
it.
But like,
Got
it is like they are still manufacturing a lot of manual cars.
Got it.
It's not a extinct thing.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that. I haven't driven regularly in years. Public transport, we love it.
Yes. Press ups. You can watch all the YouTube videos about press ups.
That's true.
But until you actually do one, you're not going to know how to do one.
Yeah, you're not gonna know where to put pressure on and stuff. But yes, so we did one at a time, and I think we did like little mini improvements as well within each office hours. Yeah, those are my learnings, I guess, from the last like 3 office hours that we did. Was there anything that stood out to you from our little tiny experiment?
Yes, I love that we did a tiny experiment. Okay, so one was that I think. Okay, let me just think about these out loud. So one was the ease of, I guess, the setup, which we've already talked about, and how you were just like, hey, do the thing, and I was like, oh, you can just do the thing. Two is, which I think we've also touched on, is that we're not completely useless, and maybe it was just me that was thinking that, but like we actually genuinely have values to offer, and we have some kind of reputation, which I think is valid, which is great. And I guess the only thing that I haven't mentioned is, which again is going to sound really like not bad, but people actually turned up, which again we've talked about. Like, yes, we only had a handful of people on the first one, and then a few, but we purposely didn't send it to too many people at the beginning because we were still finding our feet. So we purposely, it wasn't like, hey, let's blast this everywhere and like post it everywhere and try and get the most people turning up. What I really liked is you like had purposely kept it small and was like, I've only messaged in like a couple of small WhatsApp groups because we're finding our feet, but people still showed up. And then we went out to a slightly bigger audience on the second one. And again, neither of our audiences are that big, but and we had a few more people, and we're like, oh, actually we got this. We have the right format. Like, fine, minor tweaks, like you said, 1% each time, but that was cool. And then mind blown when like 14 or 15 people showed up at the last one. I was like, and again, like you said, that's the one where we reached out on LinkedIn, so different crowd, much bigger audience. But that was actually really, really cool. So I was very surprised that people actually turned up, and from like no one really dropped off during the call. So people,
so true,
right? That's like, because if people weren't finding it valuable, they would have just been like, see ya. And even if they didn't, they wouldn't have come back. And we have people coming back, and we have people looking forward to it, and we have people that have messaged us individually to say thank you. They got a lot of value out of it, and they're really liking it. And I'm just like, that's so cool. We could have just not done this. We could have overthought it. We could have like tried to perfect it. We could have gone, oh, we need X amount of people. But I'm so glad that we just did it. And now, and again, I know we've only done 3, but it feels nice, and it feels kind of embedded in what we do. And we know that, talking about systems, like on one Friday, we will record the podcast, and on the other Friday, we will host office hours. And that's almost like a little thing for us. And it's great. So sorry to wrap that up. TLDR is people actually turned up.
It still surprises me. I don't know if I would have. No, actually, I think I would have wanted this when I was starting out. And I think that was one of the reasons why we both said yes to doing this, because we found that, or we thought that having something like this would be really, really helpful to come with beginner questions and not be embarrassed to shy away from asking them. But what did you think about the questions?
Sorry.
It was
Sorry. I have one other thing that's just come to mind. The other thing that was really interesting is, I think whenever I've hosted office hours or like put on office hours for like the part-time YouTuber Academy and stuff that we've done, I've always just assumed that people will turn up, ask their question, and leave. Because that's the whole point of office hours, right? It's like a drop-in session. It's not a session where you need to be there for the whole hour. It's not like someone's preaching or like there's you kind of turn up, ask your question, and like go away. And having said that, it's not like with PTYA that that didn't happen, but it also did. Whereas for the sessions we've had, and maybe people just don't know this and realize it, and maybe they're just being polite, but people are actually coming and staying for the whole thing. Which, yes, like I said, did happen with PTYA a little bit, but it wasn't like guaranteed. And I think it's actually nice that people rock up and they are also waiting because they know they can learn from other people's questions as well.
Yeah.
So it's kind of yes, they have the option to turn up and drop off after they've asked their question if they need to get going, and that's not restrictive. They don't have to tie themselves to an hour, because I think also if I'd had something in the calendar and I was like, oh, I need to turn up for a whole hour, can I be bothered? I might be like, meh. Whereas if I knew I could rock up, ask a question and like be like, oh, cool, thanks, I'm good, bye. That's also kind of nice. But yeah, it was really nice that people stayed, and it just created that extra vibe in the session. And like also people were trying to help other people as well, which we massively encourage. Sorry, that was my last point.
No, that's really, really good. It's really nice when you have a community that comes together and people. We say that we're a community. We literally, people have hung out together for maybe like 3 hours max.
Yep.
But
we're taking it.
We're taking it. It's a starting point. That counts. But yeah, what did you think of the questions actually that were raised in the 3 office hours that we had?
What I thought was really interesting. It'd be good to get your take on it. But in my head, I think like, and actually this makes sense as I'm saying it. Like, of course it would. I think questions fell into 2 buckets, and maybe I'm overgeneralizing this, but there were like the emotional support questions, which makes sense. And for the record, I think everyone needs support of the emotional level at no matter where they are. They could be like super big and they still need it. But obviously the emotional support reasons are very different. Well, actually, maybe they're the same. I think fundamentally it's the same. But maybe somebody starting needs a little bit more hand-holding than somebody like established. And then we had the more technical questions. And what I found is some people would ask technical questions, but they were maybe a little bit ahead of themselves.
What do you mean?
As in, so what would start as a technical question would probably be like, don't overthink it. Like, you need to take a step back and just do the doing. I think.
For example, like someone asking, "Oh, what's the camera lens I need to get?" instead of literally just shooting their first YouTube video with a phone. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Yes. So, like, oh, what's the perfect? And they wouldn't have been perfect. And nobody specifically asked this. I'm not calling anyone out. This was not an actual question. But if somebody had rocked up and been like, I need like the perfect setup, like what is the things I need? Or somebody is overthinking like the type of content they're putting out, but they haven't put out a video yet. Like that sort of stuff. And therefore I would probably group that into maybe emotional. No, okay. What were we calling it? Overthinking questions. There's like overthinking questions, and then there's like technical questions, which makes sense. And going back to Ali's 3-part framework of get going, get good, get smart, I think a lot of these people are in the get going bucket, which is great because that's my favorite bucket of people, because that's the people that I enjoy. And that I think that's broadly what we like, that bucket, and then like the get good. And I think that's they're the 2 audiences we're aiming at, right? We're not trying to do the get smart. Like, obviously we can help. But like, I don't think that brings either of us the same joy as it does watching someone post their first video or like getting their first 100 subscribers or something. Like, it's just a completely different feeling. And I've completely gone off on one. I don't even remember what the question was.
I was asking what you thought about the questions that popped up in the office hours.
Yes. Okay. I think it was a re-realization, because it's not actually surprising that a lot of the questions are more overthinking support questions, emotional support, or whatever you want to call it. And it's actually less on the technical side, but that's kind of what we expected. Thought?
No, I actually didn't expect emotional questions at all. Interestingly, I expected people to be like, yo, what is this?
That's because you're a doer.
No, yeah, because I guess like when I look for feedback, I think even back in like Rite of Passage and stuff, we would give kind of technical feedback, but we would compliment sandwich it. Like, we would be like, hey, something you did is really great, and then feedback, and then compliment sandwich. Like, I know it sounds like we're like helping snowflakes and stuff, but you really need that kind of level of support when you're trying out something new. And at the end of the day, our goal is to get them to publish. It's not to get them to like the New York Times bestseller list. Because nobody's that good when they start. So you really just want to get them to publish and go on to and move on to the next thing and work on the next thing instead of quit. But yeah, I
And
don't know.
also,
Yeah.
not all of these people are trying to get 6 million subscribers.
No, not
So
at
they
all.
don't need to follow the same path that other people have followed.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't expect this many overthinking questions actually. But yeah, I think when you were like, actually that makes sense. Because everybody overthinks and they just want to intellectualize everything instead of just facing the problem and doing it. We fall into the same trap because we keep trying to set like quarterly goals for Small Creator Big World when really what we should do is just show up here every single week and now actually speak to our audience every single week. And if we do these two things like really well, that would move Small Creator Big World a lot further.
Did you just say every single week? Are we moving to weekly podcasts? Have you changed your mind?
No, as in like we show up like every week to do office hours and I'm sorry, it's still a heck no.
Just checking. Okay.
Wow.
All right. Wow, it's still a heck no. Okay. That's fair. That's fair. I hear you loud and clear. Okay.
You want to deal with this like hair setup every single week?
That's a good point. I'm not sure I'm built for that. Yeah, okay. Every other week is fine. Every other week is fine.
Yeah, it took me like about 5 minutes to set up my hair in the beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
And someone had to watch me do it and just complain about it the whole way. It's not even her hair.
Yeah, but I had to watch you. I just like it felt unnecessary. Just saying. Just saying. I mean, wait, no, hang on. I was trying to think of a compliment, and clearly I'm struggling. Your hair looks great. I didn't mean I was struggling to compliment you. I meant I was struggling to think of a compliment. Okay, I'm going to stop because I'm digging a hole. Anyway, I think we should swiftly move on.
That is both an overthinking and also a technical remark that did not need to be brought up in this episode. But
nice. Okay. Anyway,
at least you can host office hours.
Amicably. Well, we'll see. Yeah. We'll see. Okay, cool. So in a nutshell, office hours, thumbs up. That was about it. But I think what we'll do is we'll maybe, because I think it would be helpful to maybe run through those questions.
It would be good. Right? I think even for us ourselves to just take a like bird's eye view of whether or not there are some questions that pop up again and again, and then from there we can do a more focused episode as well. Like we can dig into it a little bit deeper, if that's helpful at all, or even bring in our own stories and our experiences with overthinking, because you and I have started and stopped many creative projects.
Rude, but correct.
Also because of overthinking.
Very much so. Okay, that's cool. That not only means that we don't have to think of an episode for next week, the week after. But I think that would be a cool episode. So let's gather the questions and do a little Q&A, and we'll have probably done another office hours by then, so we'll have another bank of questions and we can pick out maybe the most relevant ones. And okay, cool. Yeah, if you guys want to see that, then don't forget to hit the subscribe button. How's that for a plug?
Wow, you're getting really good at this thing.
Yep, nailing it.
It's almost as if you had another podcast before this.
That I didn't do very well on plugging anything on.
But we learn 1% better every time.
That's true. And that is very true. Alrighty, we've been going for a while. We've been rambling. Should we wrap up with a couple of updates and then call it a day?
Yes. Wait, but before that, if you've got a pressing question that you would like our live take on, our office hours link is in the description. It's also luma.com/smallcreator. If you want to pop up, we post our office hours one office hour at a time. We're still in experimentation stage. We're still a little bit too scared to commit to anything, even though it's blocked in our calendars, but we're still experimenting.
Correct. Okay, queen
second
of plugging.
plug. There we go.
This is where I learned it from. I learned from the best.
They grew up so fast.
There you go. Thank you very much. Okay, cool. What's been going on in the last couple of weeks since we recorded last?
Ooh.
Did we record last week?
We did record last week, yes.
Okay.
But since last week, did we mention this last week? Maybe.
I don't know. Well, if we did, just I'm sorry, audience, if we're telling you things you already know. But there'll also be people watching for the first time, so go for it.
Cool. Well, in the last week-ish, like maybe last 10 days, I got 2 clients, which is kind of crazy.
We did talk about this,
Okay, damn. Okay.
but you can give a TLDR
Okay.
if you so choose.
Got 2 clients, started delivering stuff for one of them, which is insane.
Nice.
I think I literally would come to gym at like not in my regular time, and I would tell my gym buddies being like, hey, I have a client call, so I can't make it to this one. And I was like, oh damn, look at me talking. Like, who is she? Or like I would actually have to block off time in my calendar now to like do proper client work. I think before I was doing all these like extra work like Small Creator Big World and stuff because it's fun. And now I'm like, oh my God, I have obligations now that I want to fulfill and I want to do really well. And I hear that the first few clients, you just kind of want to really, really go above and beyond. And I guess that's true for everything. But I think in the first few deliveries, it's going to feel like extra hard because you're not really used to it yet. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Nice.
Another big thing is I'm running the 21K half marathon that's coming up this weekend.
I don't understand, but okay.
So that is so far my updates. I think that's about it. How about you?
Nice.
What's been going on in your life since we last spoke?
Not a lot, to be honest. One big project, well, big for me, it's not actually that big, that's been on my list for forever is to get my own website up and running. And I've finally done that.
Wait, is it live?
It's live. Okay, so it's technically live still on Card. I haven't connected my domain to it. But by the time this airs, it will be live. So,
exciting! Ooh,
people
now you're
rate
putting
my website.
You're putting pressure on yourself.
Wait, what's the thing where you tell people to like critique your website?
Roast my website.
That's the one. Thank you. Okay, guys, roast my website. I'm going to link it in the description. And yeah, roast my website. I would love it. That was fun. I used card.co for anyone interested. Because it's only $19 a year, so like stupidly cheap. And it's only $19 if you want to like connect your own domain, which most people do. But you can start off. So I basically created it without paying. And in fact, I think you get a 2-week trial. So you can actually use, and it's only a handful of, no, that's a lie. There's like maybe 30% of the templates they have that are on the premium plan, but actually everything else isn't. So you can get up and running really fast and on the free plan. So if you don't want to spend $19 a year, which is also tiny, then free plan is okay. Obviously you have to buy your domain separately, but actually having done it, I would highly recommend card.co. Haven't used loads of others, but I've dipped in and out of it, and I'm a fan. I would recommend. And then that's about it. I don't think I think all the other stuff. Oh, I have like life updates. I've been continuing my declutter.
Fun.
And my sink started leaking yesterday. So
Not
I
fun.
need to fix that. Not fun. Need a new tap. So that needs to happen. I know, so annoying.
Oh
but
God, I'm sorry.
that's okay. It happens.
Not all the time.
No,
That's
that is
horrible.
correct. Thankfully, it doesn't happen all the time, but that's okay. And then I know that's about it. That's about as exciting as my life has got.
Yeah, that sounds like
Yeah,
a
okay.
pretty adulting, responsible life.
Correct.
Building a website and fixing a tap.
Yeah, priorities.
Yeah. Wouldn't your
Alrighty.
18-year-old self be so proud of where you are now?
I was probably doing the same thing.
Setting up a website at 18.
Yeah, probably. I mean, like setting up like some random, like I was probably messing around with something I didn't need to be wasting time on.
Oh,
I haven't
goodness.
changed much. I'm
Goodness.
still
Never
the same
change.
little nerd.
Stay the same.
I'll do my best. History suggests that I won't ever change. Alrighty, folks. I think we'll call it a day there. What do you say?
I think you've had enough of me, and I think that's fair.
That's not true. I'm just hungry.
Oh, yep. Okay, that is so fair. All right, we'll wrap it here. Food comes first. That is
Priorities. Want to do any last plugs?
Oh,
not ready. Plug queen, come on!
Oh my goodness. Okay,
Oh,
well
God.
we're on.
Let's not add any CTAs. I think we've got too many plugs going on.
Yeah, office hours down there in the description. We would love to see you, and if you've got any pressing questions, you know where to find us. Leave a comment. Get our engagement up, guys. What are you doing?
Damn.
Okay. There's a semi-threatening plug.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. On that note, we'll see you in the next episode, guys. Have a good one.
Bye. Now go hit publish.